All right, so good afternoon. It is Saturday afternoon, January the 24th of 2026. I'm Frankie Castile, and it is our Saturday afternoon update on the winter storm that is coming in to, I should say, it's going to be the second round of the winter storm that's going to be coming into the area. So do me a favor on the Facebook chat. Let me know where you're watching from if you don't mind. Also, if you can hear the audio, if you can see everything okay. I've also got the director, once again, of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team. I've got Craig Meador as well. Good afternoon, Craig, and thank you again for joining us on a busy Saturday afternoon. So, coming up here in this video, I know we have you for a limited time, but a lot of people, and we're going to take a quick break in just a moment, want to get more people logged in. I know that a lot of people have been concerned because they didn't wake up this morning to a foot of snow. That's something that we talked about yesterday, but honestly, the worst of this storm, it is still yet to come. All right, so what we're going to do is real quickly go ahead and tag folks in this video. We've got a lot to go over, a lot of ground to make up and cover. We're going to do that next. So tag your friends. Also, hit that share button. Last night, we got nearly 300 shares. We want to beat that again tonight. So do me a favor, hit that share button and let people know that we're on the air live. We'll come back in 3 minutes and we'll begin our broadcast. All right, so we're going to come back here a little bit early here, and the reason why that is it's going to look a little bit messy. There we go. I want to welcome in now. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see Craig or not in the first go around. There you are, Craig. Thank you again for once again joining us here today. Sorry about a few minutes ago. I had chili for lunch, and I just had a bowl before I went on the air and got all choked up for some reason. So never mind. We're good to go now, my friend.
All right. So, the big burning question that you and I and everybody else has had is where is the 17 feet of snow you guys told us was coming? Well, here's the thing, folks. These systems are tough to accurately predict. And what we give everybody, again, it's not Frankie or I predicting it. We rely on the National Weather Service, and
Right.
and nobody's perfect, and they're but they're educated and they know how to do it. So we got to go on what they tell us. And again, these systems are hard to predict. And so far, to be honest with you, they're pretty close, because overnight we did get just almost exactly what they said we were going to get, which is an inch or less, and that's exactly what we got. And something to also keep in mind, it's not over with yet. So
That's exactly right. And I know right now, going on the air with you right now, I can report that we do have some sleet that is mixing in here where I live in eastern Butler County. And that was to be expected. Coming up, we're going to go over the latest information on the HER model. We'll give you the latest totals from the Weather Service out of Paducah. And this is going to be in addition to what we already have currently on the ground. Craig, I know it's been tough to measure the snowfall today, but give me an idea of what you've seen. I know you've been out driving around on your Razor, kind of getting an idea of where some of this heavier snow has fallen so far today. What have you seen so far this afternoon?
probably anywhere from 2, maybe 3 inches in some places. It was really varied. Also saw some blowing snow and some small drifts, nothing major. But yeah, that's about what we saw in town. To be honest with you, all the city streets are, as of just a few minutes ago, are completely covered.
Hmm.
67 and 60 highway either partially or mostly covered. And again, we had a lull from this morning till just a little while ago. Now, Frankie, when this second wave came in, when it first arrived, I was talking to Jim Hager, and he had some light sleet mixed with
Hmm.
light snow there on the south end of town, and it was very, very fine, and actually made the visibility drop. Um, I was talking with Dylan Crowley, who's a pilot, and the airport was reporting visibility down to about a half a mile earlier when this just came in. So again, it's not over with yet, and the radar that you've got up there, as folks can see down to the southwest there around Dallas and all back down in there, all that precipitation, unless that dissipates, it's still coming our way, and the temperatures are going to be cold. So it's still a distinct possibility for us to get some more winter weather. It may not be historic, it may not be 9 feet, but there's still some more coming. It's just so hard to say exact totals with these systems.
It's going to be very difficult to pinpoint later on tonight. We're going to go over the Herd model here in just a minute. We'll show you the timing, the latest timing on, I really believe, between 8 and 9 p.m. tonight. That is when the bulk of the precip will be here, and we're going to be in the thick of it for several hours. It all depends on where that sleet line sets up. I know last night at this point, we were talking about maybe that sleet line being farther south, Craig. Right now, as it stands, all the models are agreeing that I think that sleet line has moved up a little bit to where Poplar Bluff, Vegas, Culin, Neelyville, Dexter, New Madrid, you've got the Boot Hill, all the Boot Hill, Northeast Arkansas. We're going to see a good period or two of sleet. Some of that could be very heavy at times. And I've even heard meteorologists here that I rely on with Paducah and some of the bigger folks even use the term thunder sleet and possibly even thunder snow coming up overnight once this second wave comes in.
So, actually, looking at the official forecast from Paducah, it
Hmm.
says snow tonight mixed with sleet. Our wind chill values as low as 3 below, with the overnight air temp about 11 above. And again, this is some educated people over there. They know what they're telling us. New snow and sleet accumulation overnight tonight of 1 to 3 inches. So then on Sunday, snow possibly mixed with sleet before 10 a.m., then snow between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So that's telling us, as long as their forecast is correct, it's going to continue for most of the day tomorrow. Still going to be very cold. And another new snow and sleet accumulation, possibly of 1 to 3 inches, on top of what they already said we could get. So what they're saying, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 6 inches still to come. And before we went on the air, you had told me you saw a prediction somewhere of 6 to 8.
And we've got that pulled up here. As a matter of fact, this come from the Weather Service out of Paducah. You might be able to see that on your screen now, Craig. But this just came in at 317. This 6 to 8 inch line right through Poplar Bluff. That is on top of what has already fallen in the area. So I know today we've had that finer snow. It's been very small flakes. These will get bigger as we progress overnight. They're going to intensify, and it's very cold outside. So by the time, most of this, Craig, the heaviest precip is going to be during the overnight hours. So when we wake up in the morning, it is very possible that Poplar Bluff, just using that for a location right now, Poplar Bluff could wake up in the morning with, a pretty hefty amount of snow and sleet before it's all said and done.
That's right, Frankie. It's not over till it's over, and we have to go with the with the professionals. Like I always keep saying, the guys at Paducah really, honestly, never let us down. They usually always touch base with us way ahead of any event, uh,
Yes.
and they trust what we see and tell them back, and then they combine that with their forecast, and they're usually pretty close. So
Yesterday I'm reading some of the comments, some folks that, and by the way, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that share button for us. Last night we nearly got 300 shares. Would love to beat that here tonight. It just lets our sponsors know, a PB Realty Legacy Farm and Land Specialist. It lets them know how much you appreciate the videos. I know some folks are saying they thought by now we would have 6 inches on the ground. Honestly, go back to yesterday, Craig, and we said, on Saturday afternoon, there would be a good chance of most folks maybe having that 3-4 inch line. And that's kind of holding of what we thought 24 hours ago.
well, like I said at the beginning of our broadcast, Frankie, the Weather Service was right on the money for overnight. I remember it distinctly. They said an inch or less, and that's about what we had. So, that on top of these particular systems being very hard to accurately predict and call it
Mhm.
right on the money, uh, it's not over yet, man. It's still some
Well,
moisture coming our way.
Well, what I want to do, if you don't mind, Craig, is let's go ahead now and put this newest her model radar into effect here, and we're going to start this at 6 p.m. And I've got a little bit of sleet here at my house. It's not nothing too heavy right now. You can see there on the map, starting at 6 p.m. That's when things start to kind of ramp up, Craig. And as we go forward in time, I really believe between 8 and 9 p.m. that's when we're going to see or hear a lot more precip falling. It's going to become very heavy at times. And then once we get into about the 8 to 10 time frame, you look on your screen, you see that pinkish color right there. That's going to be your sleet and your snow line. And boom, there it is, right through Poplar Bluff, Craig. Donovan, Poplar Bluff, over toward Dexter. And where that sleet line actually sets up on the northwest side of wherever that line is, that is where the snow rather is going to be the heaviest. And that's what the Weather Service has pretty much said all along. And this map is now showing just that. So we have a long way to go before it's all said and done.
Sure, and let's explain to folks about the. I know the average person keeps hearing us say models. So, Frankie, help us to understand, and I'll fill in the blanks about the models, how they're an educated guess with some extremely sophisticated uh, computers, lots of information being jumbled in to come out with these.
Sure. These models that we use, if you hear us talk about the days leading up to the event, we always go on especially on winter weather. You've got three major models that you look at: the Canadian, the Euro, and the GFS. And if you remember a few days ago, pretty much had a concrete idea. All three models were zoning in on a winter storm right in this area. And as we get to the day before and the day of, you start getting into your short range models, and that's what we're looking at right now with the HER model. And it gives you just an educated guess of where the lines are going to be set up. Unfortunately, as Craig said earlier on, winter weather, it is so hard to forecast, so many dynamics in play. I mean, I've had people ask me all day, Craig, how in the world can it be, 12 degrees above zero outside And you guys are talking about sleet overnight, and some parts, maybe the Boot Heel of Missouri and Tennessee areas, could get freezing rain. But we're talking about columns, and there's all kinds of stages, Craig, as you alluded to a moment ago. So, kind of tell us why we could see sleet coming up later tonight, and that sleet will be heavy at times before it goes back into all snow before it all wraps up.
Well, if there's a good side to that, Frankie, the sleet will cut down as far as the totals of the snow. However, the sleet, as you know, is ice pellets, and that's just going to make it that much more slick and hard for the MoDOT and the road crews. But again, it's because of the fact of this system keeps. We use the term wobble because we're talking about how it moves back and forth and up and down as far as what our models show us.
Hmm.
So what it amounts to is just changes in the atmosphere going on. That another perfect reason that makes these storms so hard to forecast because the atmosphere changes so rapidly. But one thing's for sure, our cold air is going to stay in place. We've got some moisture coming our way, so there's definitely some more stuff going to be on the ground. There's no doubt about it.
I'm going to put this radar here, this computer model, into fast forward mode here. And as you can see, once we get into it, according to this latest model, Craig, I mean, this really shows that we could be in the heavier sleet for quite a few hours before we get on the backside and it all turns into snow. So we talked about the potential of 6 to 8 inches that we could see additional. And I do believe very much so that it's going to snow coming up overnight. No doubt about that. It all depends on when that sleet line gets out of here. Freezing rain, first off, you look on this map, and this is the latest idea of the freezing rain. Boot Hill of Missouri, we're talking Pemiscot County, possibly Dunklin, even into northwest Tennessee. Those areas are going to see the best chances of seeing the freezing rain. Sleet, how much sleet could we see coming up before it's all said and done? According to this one model, it's showing about an inch, 1.3 inches of sleet, and that is in line of what the Weather Service did say earlier on. You talk about total snow accumulation, additional snow accumulation, and according to this model, Poplar Bluff, there you go, 6.3 inches, Craig.
Yeah.
And so far, these models are in line to what Paducah is saying.
That's exactly right, Frankie. And this is all we've got to go off of, friends. We've got to, and I've said it before, say it again. We trust National Weather Service. They're the professionals, and they help us out. These models are compiled with vast amounts of information, so they're pretty well on. Something that we probably ought to check out, Frankie. Are you able to pull up the MoDOT traveler map and see what's covered and what's not road wise at the moment?
There you go. It should be on your screen right now. I want to stop you just one quick for a second, Craig. A lot of comments are coming in about power outages. And so far, Craig, everything I've looked at, knock on wood, we've not had many outages, if really at all, in southeast Missouri. I do know Arkansas has had some power outages because of freezing rain this morning. I'm not concerned about a lot of power outages. I think the majority of this precip will be sleet or snow coming in overnight. Are you concerned about power outages from what you're seeing right now, Craig, as we move throughout this event here the rest of tonight into tomorrow?
Only if that last second to last map that you showed moves any further north. That freezing rain
Sure.
map. Yep, if that freezing rain map, if that does come our way, that's what collects on the tree branches and the power lines and pulls things down. So let's just hope for no freezing rain. The forecast does not mention any. It just says snow and sleet. So, something I wanted to add too, Frankie, is the bread
Sure.
shed they have changed their times. The bread shed, the warming center on the east side of Poplar Bluff, open 24 hours now through Monday the 26th. They were just open overnight. Now they're 24 hours at the bread shed, 24-hour warming center on the east side of Poplar Bluff, and that runs through Monday 24 hours.
Absolutely. I was going to say I got a call this morning from Chris Kellum. By the way, Sergeant Clark Parrott, he is tuning in right now to our broadcast, and I'm going to get him on this weekend as well. We'll go over the road conditions. That's our next point. But going back to the bread shed, they decided they got enough staff to get staff in there for the next 3 days, and that's a big thing for our community. So we can't say thank you enough to Chris Kellum and everybody at the bread shed for coming together to open that up for 3 days, because quite frankly, forget about the winter storm. We've got brutal cold coming in, an extreme cold warning starting on Sunday night. I know today the wind chill, Craig, did not get above zero anywhere in the area. And I cannot remember a time where we're going to have temperatures wind chill wise below zero this many hours. It's quite extraordinary.
About 13 above in Poplar Bluff right now. And the wind is out of the north around 4 or 5. Nothing major at the moment. So, and looking at the MoDOT Traveler map, Frankie, can you tell us what the colors mean there? It's hard. I can't really see it.
Sure. If you look on the map here, you see the purples. You see the purple color and the blue color. Well, the blue color is partly covered. That's on the interstates. You look at that purple covered or color rather from 67 all the way up toward the Farmington and even beyond. That is mostly covered. And right now, the majority of the roadways are going to be in either purple or blue. And as the night progresses, then we're going to see more in the way of those roads becoming more it's going to be hard for the road crews to, keep everything open and ready to go, because once this second wave moves in, it is going to be very difficult. I'm trying to get a camera to log in here just
Yeah.
so you can kind of see some of the conditions. And right now, we're having issues with these cameras, and I would imagine that's because it's very cold outside, and the cold weather, it will mess with the camera system. So, Craig, anything else you want to add to before we move on to the next topic? Explain, and I'm sure Sergeant Clark Parrott, who is watching right now, would love to know why you don't want to call a dispatch center to ask for road conditions from point A to point B.
Yeah, and that was something that he went over with you when you had him live on the air. The 911 is only for emergencies. If you have an emergency, please call 911, but don't call just to ask about the road conditions, especially when you've got such great tools to use, like the MoDOT Traveler map. You can pull it up on your home PC. Just Google MoDOT Traveler map, and you can find it. And there's an app that you can download on your phone, MoDOT Traveler map, through your app store, and have it and see everything that Frankie's got up there right now. Where is that camera, Frankie?
That is Poplar Bluff at US Highway 60.
Okay, so there you go. Partially covered. Your traveler maps shows 67 north fully covered. So even though it may not look like there's stuff on the surface right there where the vehicle's traveling now, may still be a thin layer of something. In fact, that's
Yes, I see a MoDOT truck going right now. I know I was out earlier today. I had to go to town, and in this same very spot, one lane was pretty much clear, the other was not. And as we move throughout the night, unfortunately, I believe that these roads will become very dangerous very quickly. So I know a lot of people were upset today because they were thinking they were going to have a foot of snow. We may not get to a foot of snow, but I can promise you we get this sleet that's being advertised, and we're going to wish that we hadn't got anything at all, because this sleet is just going to make things so much worse, especially first thing in the morning, and then again back to work Monday as well.
Well, something that you and I said last night is we would rather later on somebody come to us and say, you know what, you guys said it was going to do this and this, and it only did this. I'd rather it do that than us say it was only going to be a quarter inch of snow and then there'd be 14 inches the next day. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
We just do the best that we can.
So I've got the temperatures pulled up right here. The prolonged duration of very cold air today. We did not get above zero wind chill wise. It was very cold. You look at some of these temperatures, and this, I still say that it could be even worse. I know the extreme cold warning is going into effect Sunday night, Craig, and wind chills, even though it doesn't say it on this particular map, wind chills in Poplar Bluff could dip down to between minus 15 and minus 18. That is very dangerous cold weather. And we're going to see these temperatures like this for a couple of days. We might warm up a little bit by Wednesday, but we're going to be below zero wind chill wise throughout the entire day for the next 6 out of 7 days.
Yep. So just to recap a little bit, the winter storm warning is continued until 6 p.m.
Mhm.
January 25th, which that would be tomorrow. There's a cold weather advisory that is tacked on there, as well as an extreme cold warning. And that is in effect until 10 a.m. on January the 27th. So, remaining.
And I was gonna say, if folks have, and I know Craig, you're very busy, so let me know when you've got to jump off of here. That way, we get you back to what you were doing. I was gonna turn it up for, or turn the program over to our viewers. We still have a ton of folks watching here, and I
Yeah.
know they've got a lot of questions here. And if you've got questions, go ahead and fire them off at me, and we'll do the best we can to answer your questions. I know a lot of folks see me looking to my left. I'm not as sophisticated as Craig is. I know he's got multiple screens right in front of him. I've got a little bit of a gap there to where I'm looking off to my left so I can see our Facebook live stream and our YouTube stream. We are also broadcasting this on Facebook and on YouTube. So that way, if you don't have access to your phone, or you want to watch it on TV, either way, you're able to see this happen. Timeline again, Craig, for the second round. I know outside it's from what I can see where I live, it looks like it's a little bit foggy outside, but that might just be some of that precip starting to move back in the area. What are you seeing right now on your radars?
Okay, the radar behind me, I don't believe you can zoom to it over there and see it, but I still see a large area of moisture that's down in what, northeastern Texas, coming across central west part of Arkansas, and it's still moisture, still moving our way, and it's still cold. So I'm going to say that the latest forecast that Paducah has given us is going to stand fairly close. And again, it's saying tonight snow and sleet, possible accumulation, new accumulation of 1 to 3, and then snow and sleet on Sunday with another new accumulation of 1 to 3. So if you look at it, that's 2 to 6, somewhere in there on top of what we already got. Don't really seem to think we're going to get anywhere in the 18 to 24 that we initially uh, thought could be possible.
Mhm.
I don't know if we ever said it was coming for sure, but we thought it could be possible. But
Yeah,
again,
we just said that because at the time we never said it was likely to happen. That was what computer models were spitting out consistently. But as you know, Craig, when this stuff moves in, there's so many variables that it's very hard to predict. And I wanted to recap real quickly. I was just getting a text message from Sergeant Clark Parrott with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I'm already assuming that tomorrow morning, once we all wake up, we're going to be doing some other videos with the highway patrol. Obviously, he is discouraging all travel overnight unless you've got to get out. He is he is urging folks to stay home with the cold weather overnight. The wind chills are going to be once again below zero. Visibilities are going to be horrible. If you can stay home, go ahead. Don't be discouraged because we don't have a foot of snow on the ground right now. Obviously, we're probably not going to get to that point anyway in this area. That's going to be farther north, but don't be caught off guard. If you can stay home, stay home. And once we get this out of here tomorrow by noon, that's when MoDOT workers will really get a good handle on the highways, and hopefully we don't have any major roadway issues, but we'll see what happens. And make sure to download that traveler information map. That is your guide to knowing real-time road information, and hopefully we'll be able to escape this without any major issues. I know we're sitting at just under 200 shares right now. If you have not done so, help us out and hit that share button. We want to reach as many folks as we can, especially with the second round of this winter storm coming in. Folks are joining us a little bit late here tonight, Craig. Becca's wanting to know about what kind of precip that you can see in the boot heel. And Craig, I've got this map set up here for the sleet because everybody wants snow. But I tell you what, this sleet zone, I think, is going to be very impressive. Somebody, especially in, I would say, southeast Butler County, the Boot Heel, New Madrid County, Central Stoddard counties, somebody in those areas circled, I believe we'll see possibly over 2 inches of sleet, and that is additional sleet before it's all said and done.
So, looking at the traveler map, Frankie, I just noticed that there is actually some closures. Missouri 19, uh, which is to our west, is actually closed due to winter weather. It is in the red. And now looking at all highways, all of our major highways in and out of Poplar Bluff, 60 east
Mm-hmm.
and 60 east and west, and 67 north and south are showing on that the traveler's map to be not partially but covered. So
Yes.
what's happening is this second round has came in, and the guys are trying to keep it as best they can, but it's it's kind of a almost just a little bit more than they can keep up with according to the map. We've got fully covered roads all the way around, and again, I'm not sure the exact circumstances on 19, but it is closed due to winter weather. And then on over to the west, I see another highway, Missouri 181, closed due to winter weather. So there are actually some closures on our highways out there due to what we've already had fall.
And we're going to see, I really believe, and we said this last night too, I think we're going to have, before it's all said and done, unfortunately, I think we're going to have more in the way of closures on various roadways. And I'm hoping that is not the case. But the way it's looking with this second round, I've got a radar pulled up here, Craig, kind of giving you an idea. While I get this kind of set here, I know that we're seeing some of the activity now starting to get heavier out in southwest Missouri between Joplin, Neosho, down toward Fayetteville, Arkansas. Springfield right now is pretty quiet, although that's going to be changing within the next hour or so. All of that is going to make its way in later tonight.
That's exactly
I
right.
was gonna tell you. Somebody was asking about power outages. Sherry's asking about power outages, and Craig, you alluded to this. Going back to one of our computer models, our short range models, it does have freezing rain moving all the way up to the Arkansas Missouri state line. However, I do believe most of that is going to remain sleet. So if we can keep the freezing rain out of here, I'm not very concerned about widespread power outages, maybe sporadic power outages. But even if we did get sporadic power outages, pretty confident that our linemen, our Ozark border folks, are going to be able to get that restored. Municipalities, they have trained for this. They're ready to go, Craig. And as long as we keep the ice away from here, I think power wise, we should be in pretty good shape.
Yep. So another fun fact for the folks that are taking our advice and staying at home and following along with us, you can Google Ozark Border Outage Map, and you'll come up with ozarkborder.org/maps, and you can see a live current map where Ozark Border serves, and if there are any outages. And as I'm looking at it right now, thank goodness there is none in the area that is at least served by the Poplar Bluff Ozark Border Office, which
Mhm.
that is our counties all around us, Clay County and I believe Dunklin County, and then on around our east, north, and west. Not seeing any outages right now. So that's another thing that folks can use to pass the time is the outage map as well as the traveler map, because the traveler map not only shows you the roads, but Frankie, like a while ago, you had a cam pulled up, a camera, and
Mhm.
you can see a live picture of all over the place where the snow has fallen and what the roads look like.
And that's the reason why we decided, one of the reasons why we decided to go on earlier tonight was because we knew we're going to be in that lull. But I also wanted to show those cameras, as Craig alluded to. This is a great question, Craig, from Rebecca. And we talked about this early on. I hate giving sleet totals because until that line forms and moves over the area, it's just so hard to say. But Rebecca says, how much sleet totals could impact, or I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So the first part of the question is, how much sleet will we see possibly out of this when it's all said and done? And Craig, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But everything I'm showing, just based on computer models, it would not surprise me if Poplar Bluff got about an inch of sleet before it's all said and done. Craig, you agree with that?
Certainly. Fact is, if Becca, if you'll look at the map Frankie has up, and you see that moisture there to the southwest of Russellville, Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
that's all coming our way. And unless that dissipates or goes away, that's going to keep coming our way. And we're going to see that for the next 12, maybe 24 hours. So the official forecast for tonight says new snow and sleet accumulations of 1 to 3. And then for Sunday, new snow and sleet accumulations of 1 to 3. So there you go, from
Uh,
2 to 6, somewhere in that range. And that's, again, that's just our best educated guess.
Now, Carla Hicks is letting us know she's with PB Realty. Thank you so much, Miss Carla. She is telling us now that it is sleeting in the Grandin area. So it kind of goes back to what I said when we began the video. We were getting sleet where I live, but unfortunately, the precip is going to get a whole lot heavier before it's all said and done. Also, right now, Melanie is letting us know in Corning, Craig, it is currently just light snow as of right now. And here's a great point. Thank you, Don. I know that coming in overnight, I know we're going to have a lot of church services, possibly that maybe they already have. They're going to be canceling their services. I'll get a post set up here following this broadcast. But if you know of a church service that already canceled services for Sunday, or maybe they're doing, it remotely, go ahead and drop us a comment in this video chat. We still have well over 400 right now watching us on Facebook, and we've got over 50 plus right now on YouTube. Let us know what church that is. That way we can get that information out there to folks ahead of time. I really do think, Craig, tomorrow morning, travel is just going to be really highly discouraged, and it's going to be almost impossible here in many parts of Southeast Missouri.
True. And also for the folks that just came in late, if they want to have friends that need it, the Bread Shed has changed their times. The Bread Shed is a warming center. It's at on the east side of Poplar Bluff, 503 North D, I believe it is. They're going to be open 24 hours until at least through Monday that we know of. So
Right.
if anybody needs the warming center, but yeah, there's no way of getting an exact total amount for everyone. But what we can say for sure is the cold air is going to stay there, and there's more moisture coming, and it's just not over with yet, folks. So just sit back and we're going to do our very best to keep you accurately informed.
So, if you don't mind, for those of you tuning in, I'm still going through the comments while Craig is talking. I'm getting all kinds of reports. I love these reports. Let me know where you're at and what you're seeing right now. If you're seeing, sleet, snow, I don't think anybody is seeing freezing rain, Craig, at least right now. I think right now it is strictly just either sleet or snow. It is the finer snowflakes right now. I do think that those will get bigger as the night progresses. Donovan is going to get enough sleet. I don't think so, Karen. I think Donovan in the same way as Bluff. I think, and Craig, I know you have a lot of folks in Ripley County. I think the sleet totals will be very similar to what we see in Butler County. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Like I said, what the Weather Service is saying, anywhere from 1 to 3 tonight and tomorrow. So that's 2 to 6, and that's a total accumulation of the sleet and snow.
Yes. And
So
uh and Vicky's also Vicky Shands, who's also letting us know, Craig, that it does look very foggy outside. So that just tells me this this precip is coming in, it's going to really reduce our visibility. It's not fog, I don't think, is it, Craig? I haven't seen any fog issues. I think that what it is, as this precip moves in, our visibility will go way down.
Yeah, I was down in the industrial park when this second wave moved in, and as it came in, it was just so fine. There was very fine snow and some sleet pellets, and that all in the air looked like fog. It was hazy, almost looked like a freezing fog, and thank goodness it wasn't. And Josh Kidd says, "Don't forget Reese, Ainley, and Donovan." I'm not sure what he means by that, but
I'm not either.
yeah, he'll tell me there. Um,
Okay.
yeah, that haze we're seeing, folks, is just kind of a more or less of a mist, a combination of a sleet and snow, real fine particles that make it look hazy. Thank goodness it's not the freezing fog, because the freezing fog is an ugly cousin to the freezing rain.
It is. And Craig, I pulled up a radar here. This is out of Little Rock here. And real quickly, Becca's telling us that I'm assuming she's talking about cell phone service. AT&T is currently out in the Boot Heel until around 7 o'clock in Caruthersville. I hope I read that right. For those who don't know, Craig, kind of explain to us. We've got the winter mode turned on this particular radar site.
Sure.
Tell me
Yeah,
the colors and what those colors represent.
the snow, I'm sure, Frankie, is the blue, and then as you can
Sure.
see back there down to the southwest, that's some sleet or some frozen precip. Fact is, if you'll watch that, folks, it's got a couple of different colors as it transitions. So it's very possible that some freezing rain at some point that switched to sleet, or vice versa. So anything is possible with these systems. We could see some freezing rain. Really hope that we don't, because the freezing rain is the worst that we can get. That's what we got, Frankie, in 2009 was
Yes.
freezing rain. There were varied amounts all over. I think the thickest I saw it was an inch thick in some places, but a quarter inch of ice on the trees and power lines is what starts bringing them down.
We're getting a lot of comments coming in. There's so many of them coming in or about church services not going to be open tomorrow. So what I'll do after we're done with our broadcast here, what I will do is I'll make a separate post to have you to post that, because there's so many on here to read. But thank you guys for letting us know exactly what churches are not going to be going on tomorrow. It's hard to really imagine many churches, Craig, that'll be able to have services in the morning, especially if we do get the impending sleet and the snow that they are forecasting. Anything else, Craig, that you can think of? I don't want to keep you on too much longer. That way you can get to your family. You have a lot going on this evening as we all get ready for this second wave on this major winter storm.
Yeah, all I can tell folks is just trust us, because we're not doing this for the shares and likes. We're doing it to keep you and your family safe, and we're going to give you the most accurate information that we are that is available to us. We're not going to put it on the high side just to make it look scary. We're not going to do that. We're going to give you the best quality information that we possibly can to keep everybody safe. So right now, all I can say is the cold air is still in place, and there's more moisture coming, as your radar is showing. So it's not over yet. You can expect some more frozen stuff on the ground for sure.
And real quickly, I think, Craig, you were talking about something. You got a text message about the Reese
Oh,
Ainley
yes, yes.
Foundation. I know what that's about. Teresa, thank you, Teresa,
Yeah.
letting us know that Naylor has a warming center as well. It is the Reese Ainley Foundation. They've got a warming center open in Naylor. So I'm assuming that's what they were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, from Josh Kidd. He said,
Yep.
don't forget about Reese, Ainley, and Donovan. And I said, what's that? And he said, for a warming center if needed.
Very good. Very good. So there we go. So I'm glad that you guys are letting us know about that. We're getting so close now to what would be a really astonishing number, 300 shares. We're so close. If you've not done that already, go ahead and hit that share button. Anything else, Craig, you want to pass on to our viewers tonight? Because honestly, once this precip gets going, it's going to make driving conditions very, very horrible. And I would encourage everyone to stay off the roadways at least through tomorrow. What say you?
Surely by now, everyone's made a trip to the market and the grocery store. Hopefully by now. But your
Sure.
best bet, our best bet, Frankie, and you can back me up on this, is folks, just stay home. You might get out in the yard and play with the kids, but don't take off driving if you don't have to. That's the best information that I can give you right now. Just hang out at the house.
Absolutely. Well, Craig, I appreciate you coming on board here tonight. And if we get anything else, we'll make sure that we'll get back with you and get you back on the air pretty quick.
Okay, everybody follow KWOC on not only on the air but here on the Facebook and YouTube, and a zillion thanks to PB Realty and Legacy Farm, some awesome folks for helping us, Nathan Maurer and them.
Absolutely, Craig. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks, Frankie.
You betcha. So that is Craig Meador. He is the director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team, and we appreciate him for hanging out with us, obviously, and being a part of our broadcast here tonight. So before we let you go, I'm going to answer a few more questions here, the best of my ability, and I've got a ton to get through. So just be patient with me as I go through the comments here. We've got a lot of comments letting us know about where actually. Okay, thank you, Christy. Lone Star FEMA building in Doniphan's open as well for a warming center. Thank you, Christy. Is that going to be 24 hours as well? Or are there going to be hours on that for nighttime or even daytime? You're so welcome, Kathy. Thank you so much, Annie. So, yeah, coming in later on tonight, that is when we're going to have our second wave of precip. And the second wave coming in is going to be between 8 and 9 p.m. I know right now, by looking at the radar and whatnot, we do have a little bit of precip out there right now. We've got some that's starting to move back in. This is going to be a little bit more steadier precip. Let me put this radar back on here real quickly, because everything that we have seen to this point has suggested that it would be coming in between 8 and 9 p.m. And I think we're going to get some steadier precip coming in a little bit before that time. You see the red. I know people are wondering about that red. I still think, even though it's showing maybe freezing rain a little bit, it's mainly going to be sleet and snow. I'm really not concerned about freezing rain. Maybe, let me see if I can draw on this so you can see this at home. If we did see any kind of freezing rain, I would say this might be the area that we would see the freezing rain. Let me get the tool back up here, and I would say if we did see freezing rain, that line, right? It's not going to be an exact science, just giving you an idea of where I think that freezing rain would be. That is kind of, if we do see freezing rain, not a guarantee by any means, just saying if we did see any kind of freezing rain, that would be about the time or about where that freezing rain would actually end up being. So hopefully it's all sleet or snow. I'm pretty confident that we're not going to see a lot of freezing rain out of this particular system. So that would be the good part here. The good part of all this would be that we would not see a lot of freezing rain, just going to be very heavy sleet. We're going to see, and you can see that here, and this is what Paducah is even stating as well. Most of the ice accumulation is going to be further southeast of where we're located at. We're worried about the sleet and the snow. And I want to see if we've got any more updates from our high resolution models here, the short range models. We're getting a new update as we speak. It is not currently, it only goes out to about 1 a.m. on Sundays. So let me see. I can get you at least maybe through. Now I'm gonna show you this, but it's still adding up. So let me put this in motion here to see if there's any changes, and it's still lockstep with what we talked about. Starting about 8 o'clock, you see there on the map, you can see that we start to get more more confident in the precip coming in, and we put that into motion, and it's just going to get heavier by 10 p.m. 8 to 10 p.m. is going to be the sweet spot to see the heavier precip coming into the area. And it goes out till 1 a.m. And still by 1 a.m. Now, this model is showing more in the way of possible freezing rain. I'm not buying that aspect. I still think it's going to be primarily sleet. If that does change, it will change the dynamic of everything. However, I'm pretty confident that we're going to have just primarily sleet in this area, snow, sleet, and then, of course, our accumulations once again as we go back to this screen. The snowfall accumulations are going to be around 6 to 8 inches in Poplar Bluff. And as you go north, that's where we're going to see a lot more in the way of accumulating precip. I'm texting right now my good friend Sergeant Clark Parrott with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. He is watching right now. We're so grateful. He joined me the other night, and I know that we're going to get him back on the air coming up tomorrow, especially in the morning. We want to make sure that folks do not get out in this. We want to make sure they are safe, so we'll get him on tomorrow. Any other questions you've got before we wrap it up here tonight? We are, what is it, 4 shares away from 300. If you don't mind, if you haven't done so already, I would encourage you to hit that share button. Let me go over to our YouTube channel here for just a minute. I want to make sure that I have not missed a lot of questions. A lot of folks are tuning in on YouTube as well. Let's see here. So people letting me know about churches that are not going to be in session tomorrow. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Um, are you asking me about? I want to make sure I got this correct. Are you asking about what time in the morning that we're going to go live? Because that answer I don't have just yet. I don't want to. I want to kind of regroup and see if there's a lot of churches going to be in session. Obviously, I try not to go on the air live and do these videos while church is going on if I can avoid that. However, I know that this is a pretty significant winter storm. So we want to make sure that, we do our part, obviously, to help out as many folks as we can. But the plan is tomorrow to, yes, we'll do a live video in the morning at some point. I'll have to get with Sergeant Clark because my overall goal would be to do a video with him in the morning to let us know about the road conditions and what he is seeing, because I do know that all available troopers are going to be working this weekend. I know that I've talked to Chief J.R. Kersey of the Poplar Bluff Police Department, Sheriff Mark Dobbs, Sheriff Alonzo Bradwell, and Sheriff Rad Talbert of Ripley County. And they've all told me that all available officers are going to be working this weekend because of the winter storm. So I'll figure out what time in the morning that we'll do a live video. And more than likely, I know we're going to do one in the morning, probably going to do one in the afternoon as well to kind of see, because unfortunately, not only do we have to worry about the snow and the sleet tonight, but then going into tomorrow, we also have to worry about the cold weather, and the cold weather is going to be just as significant, if not more so, than what we are seeing right now with the frozen precip. I know right now a lot of folks have experienced maybe an inch or two of snow in our part of the area. Looks like right now near the Doniphan area on the northwest side of Doniphan is seeing some pretty moderate, a small band of snow starting to move in to that area. Thank you, Christy, about the FEMA shelter opening in Ripley County. And I know tomorrow a lot of people will be asking me about school closings, and I don't have any school closings as of right now. Obviously, it's only Saturday, so tomorrow, by the time we'll do 2 videos tomorrow, and I'm sure that our evening or evening video will have a lot of folks, a lot of schools, I'm sure, that would have called off school. So we'll have a lot to get to tomorrow. So remember, stay off the roadways here tonight. We're going to wrap this up here tonight. And I want to take the rest of the night off and watch everything, but I promised my wife a nice evening together. So we're going to watch some TV and we're going to binge watch a few shows. And we've got some ice cream to eat. I'm sure my son's going to be helping me watch Radar. He's actually eating a cookie right now. So disregard that. He'll probably be playing video games, but we'll be watching the Radars very carefully overnight. And if anything major happens, we'll let you know first. Um, God bless our first responders, everybody who has to be out there tonight. Be careful. And if you have to go out for whatever reason, make sure and just be courteous on the roadways. Stay safe. Make sure if you have to drive, I don't encourage it whatsoever. If you have to go out, make sure that you have your gloves, your scarves, your mittens, everything in between, flashlight for the car, and just be safe as you can. If you don't have to be out there, do not be outside tonight. It's going to be very cold, and make sure and bring in your pets. That is another big deal, especially with it being so cold outside. Forget about the precip. Just if you're cold, they are cold. And I know that my dogs have been inside all day, maybe going outside, maybe a little bit to use the bathroom, but they have been inside the majority of the day and will be for the foreseeable future. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here tonight. It is 5:18. So we've been doing this now a little bit over an hour. So what we'll do is, we're coming up on an hour. So if we don't have any more questions, then what we'll do is we will go ahead and jump off. And yeah, great point, Becca. Check on the elderly, call them on the phone, make sure that they are okay, and we'll leave you with, once again, our snowfall accumulations. We will have this up on the screen. 6 to 8 inches is possible overnight. That is on top of what's already fallen. We're going to have a heavy band of sleet. It'll move into the area as well. So keep that in mind. And we're thinking the time frame. Let me see if the high resolution model, we'll see how far out it goes. It was showing something I didn't like. It was showing some freezing rain. So this goes out to about 4 a.m. And let's see here. Let me back it up a little bit. So we're sitting here at midnight Sunday morning. If we did get any freezing rain, it looks like it's going to be a very brief switch over. I'm still confident, though, it's just going to primarily going to be sleet. Sleet snow is going to be what we're going to be dealing with the majority of this event the rest of the time. And I think in the morning when we wake up, we're going to have several inches of snow, maybe an inch or two of sleet, which is going to make the road conditions just awful. So keep that in mind. So have a great rest of your evening. God bless. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you to Craig Meador, the director of the Poplar Bluff Severe Weather Response Team, as well as a PB Realty Legacy Farm and Land Specialist, always going above and beyond. Nathan Maurer and the team, always, every time that I call him up and say, hey, I've got an idea for a weather video. Would you mind getting behind this idea? He's always been so gracious to help us out, and we really appreciate him. And boy, I tell you what, you guys have been just generous as can be. Well over 300 shares. We are 21 shares away from 350. I'm sure we'll get that as well. So if you haven't done so, hit that share button. Also, like the video and tag a friend in the video as well. They can go back and see all of it in its entirety, and be watching our Facebook page in the morning. We'll have more details. Somebody asked about thunder snow, thunder sleet. Yes, I believe that later on tonight, it's very possible that you'll be hearing some thunder depending on exactly where that sleet snow line sets up. It's very, very possible that you'll hear a little bit of thunder overnight. So I'm not gonna lie to you, kind of excited about maybe hearing some thunder. It's pretty rare in this area, so we'll see what happens. Be watching our Facebook page, and thank you again for tuning in. And God bless everyone who's got to be out there in this tonight. And we'll be back with you tomorrow morning unless things get crazy overnight. We'll be back sometime in the morning for our next video. We'll have live road conditions as well, and we'll keep you up to date as we are watching this continuing winter storm as it moves into the area. So, good night. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you back here early tomorrow morning. Stay safe, and more importantly, stay warm.